The 2022 NFL draft is fastly approaching, and we're bringing you prospects that you need to know. And today we have Treylon Burks, wide receiver out of Arkansas, 6'3", 225 pounds. He's a junior, 21 years old. His 2021 stats, 66 receiving yards, 1,100 yards,
66 receptions.
66 receptions. Sorry, 1,100 yards, 11 touchdowns, 1 rushing touchdown. He's a 4-star recruit, Zach. The world is raving about this guy. The fantasy community is raving about this guy.
Yeah.
Tell us why he is the guy to get.
Yeah, I'm higher on him than you.
Yeah.
And I understand why everyone is raving about Treylon Burks. I truly do. By the way, when you read out his stats, you're like, not so impressive. 66 receptions, over 1,000 yards.
Amazing, but he did get 1,000 yards.
Let's contextualize that for a second, though. Okay. If we look at his dominator rating, okay, so that means the percentage of his team's receiving yards and touchdowns, receiving touchdowns, he contributed 44.84%.
That's a lot
of his team's receiving yards and receiving touchdowns. If you go and even look at his quarterback play, Jefferson, I think, is the name of his quarterback there. That's not how this offense operates. It's not an air raid offense. It's not the offense you saw in Nevada with Carson Strong. It's not the offenses that are blowing people out. That is not the Arkansas offense.
Right.
So when you contextualize that and you realize that he contributed almost half of his team's receiving yards and receiving touchdowns, it is very impressive. Any dominator rating that's over 30%, you should be impressed by.
Yeah, that's good.
But Treylon Burks went out and put up 44% of his team's receiving yards. He accounted for 44%. He's a real do-it-all wide receiver, okay? And I like to tell people this because we can't show film on our channel. Otherwise, our videos get taken down. But if you want to see his best attributes and who he could be as a player in the NFL, go watch his game versus Auburn. Okay.
Right.
So type in Treylon Burks versus Auburn 2021, and you will see some very impressive film on tape. Big body, great size for a dominant outside wide receiver, can make any catch, the back shoulder, the one-handed, in traffic. My guy's got very, very strong hands.
Yeah.
He is not Deebo Samuel in the Yak game, but there are sprinkles of his ability to be that type of player.
Right.
Versatile. You can play him in the slot, outside, in the backfield, kind of like Deebo. I'm not saying he's Deebo. He's a true X factor for his team. There are some weaknesses, but personally, I think he can be a monster dynasty asset. And the athletics, the athleticism is there for him to dominate. Think about like someone like DK Metcalf.
Right.
That's the type of athlete Treylon Burks is in my mind. So you are not as high on him as me. So why don't you tell everyone why you're wrong and why I'm right? So go ahead.
Look, and I get it. People love Treylon Burks, and I just can't get on board with it. I do believe he's talented, and I just can't see it. But I'll give you my reasons. I just don't think he's quarterback proof. Okay, that means that he has to go to a team that has a good quarterback. He has to have Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen, I guess a higher caliber quarterback. He can't go to Baker Mayfield, a Daniel Jones, or Taylor Heineke, whatever the case may be. He can't go to those quarterbacks because he won't succeed, in my personal opinion. You think of somebody like a Jameson Williams before he tore his ACL. I saw him as someone like he can just go to any team and he's going to be great.
Right.
Just like if Devontae Adams was to go to any team, he's going to be great. If Julio Jones in his prime can go to any team, he can be great.
So what specific attribute are you looking at when you don't see that from him?
And look, good question. That's what I was going to go into. Look, my thing was his route tree. I think it's very limited, and I don't believe he can get the true separation like a Julio Jones, like a Devontae Adams in those routes. And I think against these top tier cornerbacks, cornerbacks are getting great. Imagine him against Patrick Surtain. Can he really dominate Patrick Surtain? Can he break him out? Can he break him on the slant routes? And I don't think he can in that perspective.
Let me give a quick rebuttal to the he's not quarterback proof thought process.
Okay.
Because the entire offense that Arkansas ran was around a mobile quarterback. Wasn't all that good. He's not the best passer. And we still saw him out there and literally be the reason that the passing game succeeded. So I get where you're coming from. But I just want to throw that out there.
And look,
he kind of was already quarterback proof.
In my opinion, everyone in the fantasy community is saying Treylon Burks is the guy. He should be the number one.
It's either Burks, London, or Wilson.
Exactly.
That's what everyone's won.
And for me, that's Wilson. But I believe Treylon Burks is there, but it's just like it's a more of a gut feeling, but I do want to give good points, and I don't want people to say, hey, well, you don't really have this and that, but I just want you to know this is my feeling. This can change. This is just early.
I think a lot of that has to do with the fact that you just prefer someone who can create separation, honestly.
And I agree.
That is something that people have noted that Burks can't always do. I think he's going to show better in his combine, his speed. I think it's going to be better than people realize at the combine.
Yeah.
Let's talk about who he can be in the NFL. So you might want to draft him in Dynasty in a rookie draft. And what type of player could you be getting? I have two players that come to mind. One is DK Metcalf. I already said that. A lot of people have said that. And when DK came out, a lot of people had concerns about his route running ability, but the pure talent just won out and he got better as a route runner.
Yeah.
And the second one, which I think is a little bit more accurate, is think of Alshon Jeffrey when he first came into the league, but Burks is a little bit faster. He's a little bit more shifty, a little bit, he has that agility that Alshon never really had, but that contested catch, the one-on-one balls, the ability to be a red zone threat, that's what I kind of view him as in the NFL. What about you?
No, I agree. I agree on the Alshon Jeffrey take. I like that because, Alshon Jeffrey was a big body guy. I mean,
big body.
Treylon Burks is 6'3". I think Alshon was 6'3", maybe 6'4", around there. And I think I definitely see it. I like Alshon Jeffrey a lot.
Yeah, what's your comp then? Is it Alshon?
Yeah, it was Alshon Jeffrey. That's what I was saying.
Okay, sorry.
I was like, wait, what? It was Alshon Jeffrey.
Right. Let's talk about team fits. What's my favorite team fit? I'll start. I think the Falcons would be the best fit for Treylon Burks, okay? Probably losing Ridley. You need to give Kyle Pitts some help, people. Let's say you go draft a quarterback with the 7th pick in the first round.
Okay.
I don't think Burks is falling to the second round, but I think it would be worth trading back up into the first round to get that new quarterback, get Burks. You have defenses who are honing specifically on Kyle Pitts. Now they have to look at both of these guys. Maybe Gage becomes more of a factor. And then you get a guy like Kenny Pickett there, a guy like Sam Howell or whoever it is, or maybe you flip it around. Maybe you get Burks in the first, and then you try and see what quarterback is left in the second. I really think the Falcons would be an ideal fit. Could really fill the hole that Calvin Ridley's going to leave. But what about you?
Look, the two teams that came to mind when I saw him out, I thought of the Raiders. They needed a big body guy. Obviously, they have Darren Waller and Hunter Renfrow, but they need that big wide receiver on the other side, in my opinion. And then the Patriots, obviously, their wide receiver room are a little bit stacked right now. But I wouldn't mind him, pairing up with Mac Jones and being that guy that can go up.
He could definitely help Mac.
Yeah, can contest the catch up there. So I like those two.
Lions are another interesting team I just wanted to throw out because they have 2 first-round picks, the early one, and then they have the 32nd, I believe, or a late
31st.
Okay, so 31st. If he's there, I mean, why not get someone alongside Amon-Ra?
That'd be nice.
So just a thought process.
Okay.
Where does he rank amongst wide receivers for you from this class?
For me, he's my
wide receiver. Burks.
Yeah, for Treylon Burks is my wide receiver 4 at this moment. And remember, this can change. This is really, really early. Maybe he goes on a team and that changes my ranking. Maybe something happens or I see something else in film.
Yeah.
Who knows?
All right, so he's my wide receiver 2. I think he could easily be my wide receiver 1. The route running was the only thing on film that I just didn't feel comfortable enough to put him at my wide receiver 1. But he is so close. So I could see him being the most successful wide receiver in this class. It's a real possibility. If you have the 103 to the 106, Burks is a prime person in rookie drafts to go.
I would definitely take him there as well.
Let us know what you think. Comment in the comments down below what your thoughts are.
Yeah.
Yo, what's good? Thanks for watching. We got a lot more videos.
A lot more.
If you want more videos.
Watch it.
You can also subscribe.
Right now.
If you want to.
You need to.
And lastly, don't forget that you can sign up to support the show and get exclusive content by going to patreon.com/fantasylandfam.